From Sesame Street to Reading Rainbow and Downton Abbey to Frontline, programming from PBS has left its mark on so many of us. But the future of that channel may now be in jeopardy. The White House is appearing to position to ask Congress to cut or even entirely eliminate funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which helps support not just PBS, but also NPR. In a statement Monday, the administration called their content, quote, biased, and said that their funding was, quote, a waste. Now, the government gives the Corporation for Public Broadcasting about $535 million a year. That seems like a lot, but it's a drop in a bucket of a nearly $7 trillion federal budget. Funding for PBS and NPR comes out to about $1.60 per taxpayer. And again, that could impact all of those great PBS programmings, past and present, that we were just talking about, including this one.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. Join me as I weave together the fascinating story of Europe's art and architecture.
In ancient Rome, we'll see how the Romans' architecture achieved both great scale and elegance, and how their realistic art reflected the people, cultures, and religions they absorbed, creating a foundation for the Europe we know today.
Mark your calendar for Rick Steves' Art of Europe.
For decades, the great Rick Steves, who you just saw there, has been transporting Americans from the comfort of their couches to the splendor of Europe. And he might have something to say about these potential PBS budget cuts. And joining me now is Rick Steves, travel journalist and the host of Rick Steves Europe. Rick, welcome in. Thank you for being here, rather. It is a pleasure to have you. You do your show, as I understand it, at no cost to PBS as a service. And there are so many other PBS programs that do rely on some kind of a budget from PBS, from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. So I guess my question to you is, first and foremost, what kind of impact do you think that these potential budget cuts, or even the threat of them, could have at PBS?
Well, PBS is always on a shoestring. I'll tell you, when I'm producing TV shows, it is guerrilla production. And I hesitate to even say how much our production costs, because it's just not like the normal media world. We're scrambling all the time. We're mission driven, as you mentioned. And just looking at that last clip, it occurred to me how many people benefit from the kind of programming we're able to produce at public broadcasting. You know, teachers use this, retired people who can no longer travel use this, parents use it. And it's not just Rick Steves, the travel guy. I'm just one dimension of this wonderful family of people who are so passionate about something in life, whether it's music, whether it's healthy living, whether it's our environment, whether it's raising kids in a way that they can be ready for school. And I've found my niche, and it is travel. And I don't think my shows would see the light of day anywhere else on the dial, because they're not, designed to make an advertiser happy. They're designed to do what we talk about in public broadcasting all the time: to inspire, to educate, as well as to entertain. So $1.50, $1.60 per person, I can't imagine a better value for our taxpayer dollar when you think about the importance of a educated and thoughtful electorate.
There are so many ways, as you know, to consume something now. YouTube and TikTok and streaming and anything under the sun. Why do you think public broadcasting is still so important?
Our world is going into a more and more frantic, amped up, clickbait kind of reality. And, that's kind of, we have to live with that, but we don't have to surrender to it. And to me, public broadcasting, whether it's NPR or PBS, it's an oasis of thoughtfulness. I've been producing content for public broadcasting, radio and TV for more than 30 years. And I'll tell you, as a consumer and as a producer, it's such a blessing to have this one little thoughtful oasis on the dial, where I can make scripts that assume an attention span, that respect people's intelligence, and that are driven not by a passion for keeping advertisers happy, that see us not as numbers on some ratings chart, but as citizens, as neighbors, that's driven just by a passion for inspiring us to venture out there and embrace the world in all its wonder and all of its fun and all its diversity, and not to be afraid to be building bridges to the rest of the world. To me, this is vital to to the fabric of our community. And again, whether it's travel, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's healthy lifestyles, public broadcasting really is something that people across the political spectrum have found is an important part of their lives and an important part of what really makes America a strong and great society.
Rick Steves. Rick, thank you so much for your time.
And instead of saying safe travels, I'd like to say bon voyage.